All right, let's rock out some music history. Oh, prove up bass!
All right, strap in, turn it up, and clear the highway. This is Music History with Joey, and today we're taking a 14-minute road trip through ambition, industry, and heartbreak, and Mark Knopfler staring into the soul of capitalism. Now, first of all, 14 minutes. In the early 80s, this wasn't prog rock in a wizard cape. This was a mainstream rock band saying, yeah, we're gonna need the whole side of the vinyl. Thanks. The song opens with a slow, patient keyboard line, almost like a sunrise over an empty field. And that's not accidental. Mark Knopfler wrote Telegraph Road after seeing an actual road in Michigan called Telegraph Road, which runs through Detroit's suburbs. What struck him wasn't traffic, it was the history. See, the road basically follows the path of early American expansion. Settlers show up, build a house, then a store, then a church, then a factory, then a strip mall, then layoffs, then decay. It's the American dream in fast forward with a guitar solo. Knopfler said he imagined one guy starting alone in the wilderness. I'd sooner forget, but I remember those nights. Then over time, the whole industrial machine builds up around him. And eventually the jobs disappear, the optimism fades, and you're left staring at a neon vacancy sign wondering where the hell it all went sideways. That's cheerful, right? Now here's what most people don't realize. This wasn't written as some political protest song. Knopfler isn't out there waving a picket sign. It's more observational. He's like a documentary filmmaker with a Stratocaster. And musically, this thing is a slow burn masterpiece. It starts off soft, almost delicate. Then by the time you hit the final guitar solo, it's like the emotional dam breaks. That closing solo is one of Knopfler's finest moments, and that's saying something for the guy who gave us Sultans of Swing. Speaking of which, this was on the 1982 album Love Over Gold, which was basically Dire Straits saying, we're not chasing radio hits anymore, we're building epics. The album only has 5 songs. 5. That is it, because apparently subtlety was not on the menu. Fun fact, Telegraph Road was rarely played on American radio because program directors saw 14 minutes and 18 seconds on the runtime and immediately needed oxygen. But live, oh my gosh, live it became a monster. The band would stretch it even longer in concert and the audience would just ride the wave. And here's a deep cut detail. Knopfler recorded parts of this album at Power Station Studios in New York, but he was obsessed with getting space in the mix. He wanted it to feel wide open, like the land the song describes. That's why it breathes. You can almost see the skyline forming in the distance. Also, a little nerd nugget, the drum sound on this record is huge. Early 80s gated reverb was creeping in, but this track keeps it tasteful. It's dramatic without sounding like Phil Collins fell down a staircase. Now here's the ironic twist. Dire Straits, a band singing about the rise and fall of industry, became massive global superstars just a few years later with Brothers in Arms. MTV darlings, right? Stadium fillers. So while Telegraph Road questions whether growth equals happiness, it also helped build their empire. Rock and roll hypocrisy? Yeah, maybe. Rock and roll destiny? Absolutely. And the thing that hits hardest about Telegraph Road today, it still feels relevant. Factories close, towns change, technology moves faster than people can adapt, and somewhere out there, someone's still standing on their own version of Telegraph Road, wondering how the dream got so complicated. But that's not what makes it powerful. It's not just a song. It's a time-lapse film set to one of the most emotional guitar crescendos ever pressed into vinyl. So next time you've got 14 minutes and a stretch of open road, put this one on. Let it build. Let it breathe. Let the final solo remind you that even when the story gets heavy, the music still soars. I'm Joey. This is Music History with Joey. And remember, sometimes the long songs hit the hardest. Keep it sexy. Keep it rocking. Now roll the tape.